Time is precious. Value your time. Value your time because at the end of the day, you cannot recover it once it's gone. Whatever you did an hour ago, 2 minutes ago, you won't recover it. It's gone. If it wasn't doing something positive to build you up, then you wasted that moment. Life is not a rehearsal that you can say, I'll go back and redo. It's done is done. When water has been spilled, you can't go back and say, I'm going to collect it back. It's gone, it's gone. So it's always important to make sure that we value every second and every moment of our time. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you choose to look at it, you can't regain it. Whatever you give your time to matters a lot. Whether it's content you're listening to, whether it's a conversation you're engaged in, whether it's a work or a gig you're working on, whatever it is, that time is precious. If it's done in something that is not building you, it will destroy you. If you're in a relationship that's not building you, that time that you're spending with that person, if there's nothing, there's no plan, there's no growth, there's anything, you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, you might not notice it, but that time that you are there in that person's life and there's nothing either or you're doing to build yourself or to build the other person, and mostly for yourself in that regard, then you've wasted that time you will never recover. And that's why sadly some people stay 4 years, 8 years, and the partner doesn't settle down with them. They choose someone they've met less than a week, and you wonder, what happened? It's important to know your time, because once you know your time, you'll give it its value and its worth. You won't entertain any nonsense from anyone. You won't entertain anyone to waste your minute. Look at it from a point even of a consultant. How does a consultant make more money? They put their schedules, they put their time. And when you waste the time of a consultant, you pay for that time that you've lost. And they will not come and sugarcoat their words. You've wasted A, B, C, D of their time. You have to pay that time that you've lost. So at the end of the day, time is precious. And you have to be able to understand that you can't waste time. Not today, not ever. So anything you're engaged in, anything you're part of, whether it's a project, whatever it is, time is precious. Life isn't a rehearsal. You're in an abusive relationship, you're saying, you know what, this time is going to get better. No, maybe first time he slapped you, next time he'll punch you. The next time they'll stab. Only God knows what they'll do next. And even if, let's say, it's whichever partner, and here we're talking about either gender, male or female. So you have no time to waste. You have no time to waste. Someone wants to give you a gossip on something. Tell them, hold up. How is that going to value? What's the value I'm getting with that information? Does it really entail something that will help me or build me up or something? No. So you're giving me this information for what reason? Just shut them down and move. Because the moment you start engaging and start entertaining, there's so much you could have done in that duration that you started engaging into that gossip or slander, and you could have done something amazing in your life. Sometimes just tell someone, hey, so you're giving me about this information, why not pray for them? Since you have the information, pray for them. I didn't have this information, doesn't concern me. And that's even sometimes you need to be very cautious when you're trying to understand exposés versus gossip. Because sometimes an expose can turn into gossip, depending on who gets the glory. If God gets the glory, good. If man gets the glory, yeah, we have a question right there. Because whatever you give your time to, you will be accountable before God. And you'll be accountable to yourself. Because time is precious. That time you're saying, I'm going to hit drugs and do 1, 2, 3. All that time you're spending, destroying your body, you won't recover that time ever again. You cannot recover the 10, 15 years you've lost. Whatever time you'll get to, you'll not be able to run that race. Because once you understand the value of your time, you'll understand your potential and your vision. And your mission will be very clear. We live at a time whereby if you don't do this, if you don't do that, you're considered not part of the it society. What do I mean? If you don't party hard, if you don't get into drugs, if you don't sleep around, all that, people start saying, no, you don't understand life, you are boring and anything. So why would we say it's boring? Is wasting my time doing things that don't help me any better? because whatever I'm doing, there is a level of defiling of my own body in the process. So, and there are more risks that I'm taking when I'm in some of these places that we are going. Is it really worth your time when you could have really done so much? There's so many projects. Imagine imagine someone wasting your time and your life, or a thing that you're doing wasting your time, and then you miss your potential. You could have built up your brand. You could have worked on something, but you're so busy engaging things that don't help you, and an opportunity just goes. And maybe someone was asking, who can we give this assignment? Someone says, yeah, you can't give that person, they like, this and that, and you lose. And that person actually may be having a valid reason as to why you don't need to get it, because the kind of crowds you're seeing in and the kind of conversations you're engaging in make you lose your potential. Nobody wants wastage of their time and money. Social media apps enjoy because the time you spend with them gives them more views, gives them more ratings, more traffic into their apps. They really don't care how much time you waste. No, the question is, if you are in the social media, what type of content are you listening, or what kind of content are you releasing? Because that time you spend doing it should be valuable. But if you're only there for the sake of, social media platforms enjoy, they have no problem if you spend your whole life on that platform. The question is, what are you doing with your own life? And that's something people don't always choose to look at. What you choose to ignore doesn't go away. If you don't confront an issue or a situation, it's not going away. Actually, it'll just become magnified. And it's like a portal. If you don't sort that portal, becomes a very big hole, and the portal starts when it's very small, or a wound, or a small tear in a cloth. If you don't knit it up, it's just a matter of time. It's going to be a bigger section. Next thing you know, it's a big one. You're thinking, oh crap, now what have I done? Yeah. What you choose not to deal with will deal with you. What you choose to ignore is not living. It will come back, only magnified. And the problem is, if it comes magnified, you won't have the same strength. The strength you have today, you won't have it tomorrow or the next day. It's going to be different. And as you age, there are things you can't be able to run and do. So every time you're wasting your life in things or with people or in situations that don't help and don't bring value into your life and into your mission or vision or potential or your purpose in life, when that time comes that you've been given a calling to do something, you'll make it. Joshua had the strength at the time that he was under Moses, and he was able to finish the vision for Moses and fulfill the purpose that God had planned. The question is, what is your mission? What is your vision? What is your purpose? What is your potential? Only God knows. And how will you know that you have to have a relationship with Him? The farther He is away from you, you'll never know about it. The closer He is, you will know. This life, you cannot be able to mess it up, not even by an inch. Every minute counts. Every second counts. Every conversation counts. Everything you watch, everything you listen to, everything you indulge in counts. And you can never recover that time. Now, considering where we are in life, at a time whereby any day, any time, any second, kaboom, you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's a war. You don't know nothing. You're praying it doesn't happen, but you have no guarantees, because the same governments that told their people vote for us are now crushing their people, and they don't care. They will impose all types of laws and policies, and they don't care. So what time are you spending? What time are you utilizing? Because time is not going to wait for you. The train left the station. The train won't stop leaving because of 1 or 2, 3 people. You paid, even if it's one person in the whole train and they were to move to a particular destination, it leaves. The plane will leave. It will stop because of you. You're not that special for it to stop. So time is precious. make the best of it. Utilize every second, every minute of your life faithfully, always. Because today is not guaranteed. Right now, it's not guaranteed. Few seconds from now, it's not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. You only know right now. But after, you have no idea. You are normal, you can be okay health-wise, right? And then a second, a minute later, you're very ill. You could be talking to someone on the phone. They're okay. A minute later, they're in hospital, like, I just spoke to them. There was nothing whatsoever. And sadly, others, that illness, whatever it is, has escalated and they're gone. So life won't stop because of you or me. However, if you are able to utilize every minute and every second of your life to do what is positive that can help you and that can grow you, you'll keep moving. That anger, that bitterness you're holding, saying you are going to avenge, you're going to get even with someone, use that strength, that time, that energy, heal, forgive, release those people. It does not mean bring them into your life. Release them. That time that you are planning and projecting to avenge or to settle the account with that person, you could actually use that time to heal, learn from other people how they've done it. Thanks to platforms, you can get tips here and there. Utilize your energy to healing than to revenging. Because at the end of the day, no matter how tactical you think you are, after all is said and done, fine, so you win in that vengeance thing. Then what? Because you should always ask yourself this question. After you've done all the things you wanted to do against someone, maybe they did you wrong and it's valid something that they did you wrong. And then what? After an investigation is done by the cops, what happens? They get their case, goes to court. The court decides if it dismisses the case or moves it forward. And then after, let's say that person has been locked up, and then what? The victims. Who cares about the victims? The victims are left to carry, because sometimes, sadly, in society, we concentrate so much on the perpetrators, people always forget the victims. A victim was gone through abuse or loss or anything. You take them through the investigation, asking them all the questions, the interrogations, the statements and everything. Take them through a court system. Then they are challenged by the laws, everything. And then whoever is guilty is locked up, fine. Remember the victim? How much torture has that victim gone through to go and relive the incident, trauma, one and a time? And the sad part is nobody goes, even when you look at even most of these crime shows and everything, people concentrate so much on the one who was doing the wrong, the suspect. But the victims are the voices that are silenced. There's no time considered or given to the victims. So the victim over time grows to understand they have no value. They were just a pawn, saddest thing, for a court system or a justice system. But there's no therapy for them, there's no counseling for them, there's no follow-up for them. The strength that was used in interrogating and getting to figure out who this criminal is and putting them where they belong, the same strength should be used for the victims. No time is given for them. Nobody cares. Sad times. And that's the society we live in. Time is so precious. Don't just go to any event because you want to go to an event. Understand, what are you getting from that event? If it's a good time, feeling good, fine. But let it be worth the time that you're going to be there. That as you enjoy yourself, whatever happens there, you're like, fine, it's okay, I enjoyed. Or, ouch, you shouldn't have been there, or you shouldn't have seen things you shouldn't have, Time is precious. Doesn't matter where you are. You have to learn to utilize time at all. Because if you don't utilize time, You can't, it's gone. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. So use your time wisely. You don't need to reply to everyone who attacks you on a comment you've done or on something you've done. Sometimes you can just, like you're never there, move. You don't need to engage into every conversation. You don't need to give your point everywhere. Just ask yourself, do you really need? Because people become so cold, and there are people who just want to find someone to unleash all their bitterness. So you can write something or do something, and then someone attacks. When you start engaging into their toxic traits, that time you will be spending unloading the clip and adding more to the chamber to release every stray, because you're thinking, I will show them who I am. That time you are showing them who you are, that they will know me. I'm going to, all that time you're spending, you are losing mentally, emotionally, physically. That time you could have done something valuable that could have helped you. Every time you engage a toxic person, when you are thinking, I'm going to attack, and maybe it's not really necessary. Maybe just ignore them. But that time you are planning, your mind has to be engaged into the calculation, your body, your blood, parts of your organs, your heart, because it's beating. Maybe you could just have ignored the person. If they call you a cow and you're not a cow, so what? You don't moo. Move on. They call you a cat, you don't meow. Move on. Because at the end of the day, if people find a way that they can get to you, they will not waste that moment. Because people have become very toxic. Nowadays, someone is like, someone is very angry with their life, so they're looking to somewhere to vent to. And it's sad where we are in society where people, I don't know if common sense left common and common told the sense live, and then the sense told the common we shall meet. I don't know where this whole thing went sideways. I never get it to this moment why it counts to bring strangers into your home, into your private spaces, into your private conversations, so that they can give you an opinion. And this is different from the context of sharing something you've survived from. That's very different. I'm talking about just your normal day things. You're eating, you're drinking, your relationship, your work, things that are precious, and I'm not talking from something from an advice point of view, or from an expose point of view, or from a healing point of view. I'm talking from just a daily, you just want to show people, so this is my house, this is my partner, these are my children, so we are eating, we are drinking. Seriously, your private life there's a reason, it's called PRIVATE. Private, you and your circle, wherever you may be. But when you start bringing people in, you start giving them an allowance into your time. Because now you have to engage these strangers, and mind you, when people are in this watching, or these people you are bringing into your private space, a view or a following, a subscription, this is where people never get it right, or they get it or ignore. We used to be told, don't talk to strangers and be careful with strangers. It's funny how we've let too many strangers in places they should never have been. So all the followers or views or subscribers, you don't know them. Among them, there are good people and there are evil people. Among the evil people, there are all kinds of characters. And so you're giving them a key to attack, whether physical, whether spiritual, or whether virtual or digital, how you choose to look at it. You are giving them an allowance to bring whatever is in them into your space, and now you start experiencing things that you should never have experienced because you allowed strangers into your life. People who had no opinion. Now you're giving them full. And that's why it's sad nowadays. Someone is leaving a child to do something and then telling like viewers, and I've seen it enough times to have really had enough, whereby I tell them, look, for example, the child will be doing what have I seen? Maybe they are on the sofa, and so you put like a phone or a tablet, and then the viewers are to make sure the child doesn't do the wrong thing, and then all you want is people to tell a child, sit down. I'm thinking, yeah, if you keep allowing people to tell you what to do, man, you become a robot. You just don't even know it yet. Or even with the AIs that are there and the virtual assistants that are there, where you've given them so much power that you can't even reason for yourself. You can't move. No, you want this machine to do ABCD for you. You're giving it more reason to think, do I really need to serve these people, or do the people need to serve me? You're just giving them some intrusive thoughts to think about and to plan. And then they execute. And then you'll be saying, how did they turn into monsters? You literally gave them the key to your life. What did you expect? So, time is precious. Your time is precious. Don't give your time just to anything. Be able to account for your time, because this life we live is not a rehearsal. What you think you know today is not as tomorrow. And who you are today isn't who you'll be tomorrow. Every phase of your life changes. Your level of faith either goes up or goes down. Your level of strength either goes up or goes down. But at the end of the day, your strength over time diminishes. Your wisdom may go up, but your physical strength will go down. Time is precious. Don't waste it on things or people, content, lifestyle, or situations that were never worth it. Love yourself to know that your time is precious. So if a conversation is not healthy, don't engage in it. Don't even give it the moment. If someone is calling and there's nothing of value in your conversations, cut them loose. That's why you have these blocking options. Use them. At the end of the day, if you keep allowing your time to be wasted, whoever is wasting your time, they're benefiting, but you are losing. And remember, when you die and there's a eulogy, they always say the day you are born and very few things. But no one will talk about the life you lived. You are more valuable. You have a purpose in this life. Not to sleep, eat, drink, die. But you have something special in you. You will never know it until you spend time to figure you out. No amount of relationships, no amount of money, no amount of projects will help you figure that time for yourself. You have to set that time apart. You want to know God, you have to create the time to know Him. You want to develop a skill, you have to create time. You want to spend time with your family or your children or your partner, you have to create time. And when you create time, there should be no distractions. Know when to put your gadgets aside and engage with the people where they are. Your time is precious. Don't waste it on things that will never help you. May God help us all to use our time wisely.